Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. For this Rotary year, our president, Barry Rassin, asked us to be people of action and to be the inspiration. This club's continuing mission to teach youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development is the inspiration that President Rassin asks of us, and the numerous local and international projects that we support and participate in are the action that he asks us to take. My name is Jim Cole, and I thank you for giving me the privilege and the honor of serving as the 96th president of undoubtedly the best Rotary Club in the world. At this time, it is unfortunate that I have to report that past district governor and past president of this club, Don Aiken, passed away, and I ask that we have a moment of silence to remember him. Thank you. Those of you who are on Facebook, if you could share our live stream video, we'd greatly appreciate it. On this day in 1775, the Second Continental Congress set forth a committee of secret correspondents to talk to European countries to help get support in the coming separation from England. In 1864, the Cheyenne and Arapaho Indians were massacred by Colonel John Chivington's Colorado Volunteers at Sand Creek, Colorado. And in 1863, the Warren Commission was commissioned by President Lyndon B. Johnson. Just so you know, in Kentucky, every lawyer must take an oath that they have not fought a duel with deadly weapons. So that's why I don't practice in Kentucky. This time I'd like to invite Jamie Goldsmith to the front.
Good morning, fellow Rotarians. While we are all getting excited about the upcoming year ahead, it is important to think about gratitude. I've been told that gratitude is one of the most important elements for success and the key to experiencing life at its best. I've also been told that being grateful for your blessings in life is arguably what opens the door to a life of success and prosperity. Thanksgiving is not just a date on a calendar. Thanksgiving is a daily discipline that we should all develop in our lives. In 2016, I made a conscious decision to write down things that I'm grateful for every day. I found myself being thankful for beautiful trees and moments of silence, for adversity and even painful experiences. This exercise in gratitude empowered me to be thankful in all circumstances. I fell off my daily gratitude routine in 2017 and 2018, but found my gratitude journal recently and keeps me alive. I am truly grateful for the planet because it is my home. I am truly grateful for Rotary because it helps me connect with people in my community and people around the world. I am truly grateful for my job because it is fun, challenging, and provides me with the means in which I sustain my lifestyle. I am truly grateful to be an American woman because I am allowed to have an opinion and a voice. I am truly grateful to live in Las Vegas because it is a diverse city filled with the art of hospitality and entertainment. I am truly grateful for water because it hydrates me and sustains my life. I am truly grateful for my eyes because they allow me to see. I am truly grateful for music because it brings me joy. I encourage everyone to take time every day to think about the things you are grateful for. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And we're grateful that you're a member of this club. So, Arlene, could you come up?
I don't know why more people don't sing, because it's so easy. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom I pledge allegiance to the flag
Thank you. Please be seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Kim Neone. Bob, I understand we still do not have any internationals today? Not today. Nobody's checked in. Okay. Visiting Rotarians, if you could raise your hand, please. Visiting Rotarians. Kim, right behind you.
Hey. Hello. Hi, Kim. You want to get up and state your name? Oh, Jayhawk.
You betcha.
I went to Nebraska.
That's okay. It's okay.
I just went from the city.
Hi there, my name is Christy Blanchard. I am a Rotarian in Lawrence, Kansas at the Jayhawk Breakfast Rotarian Club, and I bring you a banner from our homeland.
Yes, Rock Chalk.
Thank you.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Thank you. Oh.
There you go. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
We have other visiting Rotarians, if you could raise your hands. Visiting Rotarians? None? Guests of Rotarians?
I'd like to introduce my guest, who has been here several times, Gail Anderson. Just send him. Thank you. And while I'm standing, I would also like to thank all of you for the lovely card you sent. It was very nice. My first and only card. Thank you.
Hello, today my guest is Robert Siegel, detective at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
Welcome.
He has a warrant out. Watch out. Hey, thanks.
Good morning, fellow Rotarians. My name is Bill Houghton, and I'm pleased to introduce my daughter, Paige, who's been a guest at our club before. She's attending Teen Leadership Camp, along with 233 strangers, soon-to-be friends, tomorrow.
Okay. Welcome and congratulations. We have other guests of Rotarians. Guests of Rotarians? Seeing none? Oh, I'm sorry, we got a hand right behind you.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Florence Marr. I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow in Tokyo, Japan, and I'll be giving a brief presentation later about my first 3 months there. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, at the head table today we have our speaker, Ryan Wheeler, his guest, Lynette Russell, and Francesca Gilbert. Please join me with a round of applause for all of our visiting Rotarians and guests. I'd like to thank the Rotarians who helped set up today, Jamie Goldsmith and Chan Lam. The greeters were Lucy Perotti and Carrie Groh. The invocation was by Jamie Goldsmith. Song was Arlene Serwa. Teardown is going to be by Chan Lam and Michael Williams, and Kim Neone is our Sergeant at Arms. Jim Tucker is our photographer. Marie Walsh and John and Jemmy handled the tickets today. All things technical were handled by Kirk Holmes and Stu Lipoff, and Facebook is being handled by Adam Homey and Francesca Gilbert. So briefly, I would like to let you know one of the things that District Governor John Chase wanted us to do was to band together with other Rotary clubs to do a joint project. This is in addition to Santa Claus, which we already do with a bunch of clubs here in the Valley. But so the clubs in the Las Vegas Valley, we have selected Project 150 as a joint project. We're going to contribute funds that we have set aside in our budget to help them buy food, and then there's also a service opportunity for those who can make it. Sean sent out an email today to help pack up the food that they're going to send out for the holiday dinner. So if you have any questions about 150, it's a fantastic organization. We went out and took a tour, and I was kind of taken aback a little bit because I looked at their shelves and I saw a bunch of top ramen and oatmeal, and I thought to myself, that's kind of weird. Like, why wouldn't you have cans of stew or things, nourishing products to give these kids? And so we asked about it, because we were quite curious. And the answer I got back kind of set me in my place, basically. The reason they use top ramen and oatmeal is because if you are homeless, you don't have access to any place to cook, but you do have access to hot water at a 7-Eleven. So you can come in, cook your hot ramen noodles, and then wash the bowl out so that in the morning you can then come back to 7-Eleven, make your oatmeal. And so that's how you get 2 meals. So it's not what they would like to eat, it's what can they eat and what can they prepare. And that's the kind of thinking that Project 150 does. And so they're providing homeless high school kids with the ability to stay in high school, to get their education so that they are productive members of society. It's a fantastic organization. So I hope that some of you can come out and help them pack food, and I hope that you support them on a going forward basis. So at this time, if I could call Michael Gordon to the front, please. Past President and Assistant Governor, Michael Gordon.
With bloody conflicts raging in the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and parts of Central Africa, the message of nonviolence and reconciliation demands more urgent and collective attention, not just in Las Vegas and the United States, but around the world. Rotary's goal of worldwide peace and tolerance has been an unwavering pursuit. Rotary has conducted global forums, hosted international peace symposia, and, of course, through its 60-year collaboration with the United Nations. But Rotary's most significant effort to wage peace is the Rotary Peace Centers, established in 2002. Through academic training, practice, and global networking opportunities, the Rotary Peace Centers programs develop some of the world's most dedicated and brightest professionals, training them to become catalysts for conflict prevention, conflict resolution, and ultimately peace. Today, more than 1,000 Peace Fellows are applying their expertise in various fields. They're settling border conflicts in West Africa, drafting legislation to protect exploited children in Brazil, and developing aid programs at the World Bank. But how does it work, you may ask? The Rotary Foundation and its university partners considers candidates from all over the world for the Rotary Peace Fellowships in a highly competitive selection process. How competitive? Rotary International selects only 50 individuals each year from a worldwide applicant pool. As the first Rotary Club in Nevada to navigate this selection minefield in order to successfully sponsor a Peace Scholar, our club continues to make history. Today I wish to introduce to you our club's second successful applicant as a Peace Scholar, Florence Marr, who was selected to complete her graduate degree at the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan. And she is in town for the holidays and wanted to tell you about her experiences during her first semester of graduate studies. Please help me welcome Florence Marr.
Thank you, Michael, for that kind introduction, and thank you, Rotarians, for welcoming me back here. It's always a pleasure to be in Las Vegas, especially for the holidays. Although what happened with the weather today? I'm very disappointed. I feel like I may as well go back to Tokyo right now. As Michael mentioned, I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow in Tokyo, Japan. And I'm representing District 5300 and your club in particular. Thank you to Karen Wisenhunt for helping me navigate the process. She's not here today. I think she's on a cruise. Lucky her. And I arrived in Tokyo 3 months ago, and now I'm home for the holidays, here to kind of give a little update on how it's going. So that's me playing a drum, and this is me kind of in some traditional outfit at a local community event. So a little bit about me. I was born in Oregon, and my parents moved here in 2004. And I came down, I took some classes at UNLV. I had a part-time job at the Clark County Health District. And then I kind of commenced on my path in international affairs. I partnered with a Rotary Club in Jamaica to do a community project there while I was in college in Washington, D.C., and then I eventually joined the U.S. Department of State in 2011, and I received notification a year ago, so this was a very long-term project, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity, so thank you again for your support. So a little bit about the Rotary Peace Fellowship, Michael already explained, but essentially it is to build a network of peace builders and to invest in them training, both academic and practical, to help them get to the next level professionally to solve some of the world's most difficult problems. So resolving conflicts and building more peaceful societies. There are obviously no easy solutions to that, and this is a long-term project that Rotary has been investing in and is doing that in a number of ways, and one of the ways is this people project, investing in personnel who can help work on these issues. So that I'm one of the many very talented people, and I feel very lucky to have been selected to work on these very difficult issues in the long term, as I have been in the past and hope to continue to do in the future. So these centers are worldwide. There are 6 of them. There's one in the US at Duke, there's one in Sweden, UK, Australia, and then the one I'm at in Japan is at the International Christian University in Tokyo. Okay, so I arrived in Tokyo in August, and I started out with a month-long basic Japanese language class because English is not widely spoken in Japan, and it's been very difficult to do basic things such as grocery shopping. So you can see in the photo above, one of our kind of local volunteers helped me kind of discover which bottle is the dish soap. When you're illiterate, when you can't read, that can be surprisingly challenging. And then after the immersion Japanese course, I started classes with my other fellows. So in my program, which is one of 5 worldwide, we are 10 fellows from all over the world. We are from North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Australia, every continent, in fact, except for Antarctica. But I'm sure that's coming. So I just finished my first term, which was 10 weeks, and I'll be starting my next term next week. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the Rotary Network in Japan. So the Japanese Rotarians are extremely committed, and they've really helped us settle in there. As I said, there's a lot of cultural barriers as well as linguistic barriers in Japan, and the Japanese Rotarians have gone above and beyond to help us overcome those. So my sponsor, you can see him here, George Kitami. His name is Joji, but he insists that I call him George because he's concerned that I might not be able to pronounce his name, Joji is not such difficult, but anyway, it's very kind of him. So he met me at the airport, had a little sign, drove me to my apartment. He helped me rent the apartment, and he had to co-sign the lease with me because it can be difficult in Japan without a credit history to get an apartment. Has invited me to meet his wife, has invited me out on various local Rotary events. I also spoke at the district conference there in Tokyo last month. I gave a very brief, maybe like 30-second speech in Japanese, and they were very complimentary of my limited language skills. So the Rotarians have been very welcoming, and then also I have been volunteering with a local community group called Local Mitaka. Mitaka is the neighborhood I live in, and they have linked me with a local family that lives very close to me because George, my host sponsor, lives a good hour and a half away. Tokyo is very large. So my local host family, this is their children right here. They live very much closer to me, so I have some contact with them. And then also monthly at a local community center, I lead an English discussion group for local residents, mostly folks that are retired, but it's open to everyone, and that's been very fun as well. Okay, so next steps, I'm flying back to Tokyo on Sunday to start the winter term, and then my fellow Rotary Peace Fellows and I, we have some projects coming up as well as some travel. We're going to Hiroshima to learn about the bomb and the aftermath there. That's sponsored by Rotary. The Japanese Rotarians have been very generous in trying to make sure that we experience the full range of Japanese history, the good and the bad. And then my fellow Peace Fellows and I were organizing a Peace Week, which will be kind of community-focused, centered at the university, but we're hoping to draw in the local community as well for some various awareness-building activities surrounding peace. And then we're also organizing a more academic event, a peace forum, I think that will be in June, or May, excuse me. That will be presenting some of the peace research from previous fellows that have gone before us and concluded their research. And then this summer, I'll be doing an applied field experience. So that would be some kind of field work, most likely in a developing country. We are restricted from going into war zones, so never fear. Rotary is concerned about their liability, or I'm sure, so we can't go into war zones. But countries that might be having some issues that we can study and apply the skills that we've been learning. So I just want to reiterate, thank you again so much for your support. If you're interested in learning more or getting involved, I would say that one of the best things that you can do is if you know of people in your circles or community who you think would be good applicants for the fellowship, spread the word. This is such a wonderful program, and it would be great if those that can most benefit from it learn about it. So spread the word about the fellowship. Recruit talented young or mid-career professionals that you think would be a good fit. Also, there's a Rotarian Action Group for Peace that has a lot of information about Rotary's peace-related programs, and I have the website for that on the next page. There's the webpage for that, www.rotarianactiongroupforpeace.org, so I encourage you to check that out. I also have at my university, my fellows and we have a blog, like a joint blog, at rotaryicu.wordpress/category/blog. We post about our activities. And then I have a personal blog, which I have not been very good at keeping updated because I've been so busy, and that's at florenceinTokyo.com. So thank you again so much, and I'm sitting over there if anyone has any follow-up questions.
Thank you very much for coming to talk to us, and congratulations. It's a great accomplishment.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. Anybody hasn't eaten lunch yet? Let's see, is it before 12 or after? I'll say good morning or afternoon. We do have results from the election that we did, and I must say that going digital has benefited us a lot because usually get about 65 ballots turned in. It's about 66% of our membership. Voting closed at Wednesday on noon. At noon. It was our highest turnout to date. And because of that, before I do anything else, I'd like to thank Stu Lipoff for all of his efforts in putting together this digital program for voting. Thank you, Stu. I'd like to thank all the nominees who were on the ballot. We had an extensive group of wonderful people that were willing to take the challenge of being on the board of directors of this Rotary Club. I would like to ask also, before I give you the winners, that all the nominees that do win, plus the second year part of the board that continues on into Jackie's year, that we all meet in the bar after the meeting for a real brief nomination. So the board, in alphabetical order, is Francesca Gilbert, Rosalie Hedrick, Janet Linder, Howard Hopkinson II, and Ted McAdam. And like I said, we had a great set of people to join our board, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Past President Jim. We're going to take a short break for fellowship. Welcome back. Kim, can you take the microphone over to Marie Walsh, please?
Thank you, President Jim. Fellow Rotarians, Breakfast with Books, December the 11th. We have people signed up in the Green Book. And if you're not signed up, if you could please do that, or if you have to get in touch with me, send me an email. I'd like to add you to the list. And if you can make it and are not signed up, we'd love to have you. Please come and enjoy the children. They'll be all psyched for Christmas, so it should be a fun day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kim, would you take the microphone to Lucy, please? Lucy Perotti.
Hello, everyone. Just kind of wanted to recap on last week's canned food drive. The Las Vegas Rotary raised so that's equivalent to 101,954 cans that were donated to the Salvation Army for the canned food drive. So if you donated money, attended the Halloween club, the Halloween party or anything, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you all so much. It means a lot. Thank you.
President Jim, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention also that we should keep in our hearts and prayers the family of the gentleman who used to own the Las Vegas distillery, George Raz, who has been our host and supported our efforts to raise money for this program. So I just think it's appropriate to mention that because he was a big part of our success. So.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone over to Michael Williams, please?
Magical Forest? It's for Magical Forest coming up next week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
20th.
20th, 3 weeks. Everybody just come. You can sign up when you get there. You can be part of the choo-choo train. You can do anything you really want to do. They ask you what you want to do. Who was at the cotton candy thing or the ice cream thing? Who signed up for that last year? Anyway, so we'll see you there.
Thank you very much. Could you take the microphone to Dave Thorson, please?
Just a brief recap on the Wetzel Awards. We did that yesterday due to some facility restrictions on the base today. Had a nice turnout. About 6-7 Rotarians came. Both Carol and Pat Wetzel were there. And we had a general there. And really had a nice ceremony. And we will meet those 5 outstanding airmen next week after next at our lunch.
Thank you very much. We take it to Jim Hunt for, I believe this will be our last Santa Claus.
Thank you, President Jim. This is the last update. Santa Claus is 1 week away. It's hard to believe. I want to correct a couple of little numbers here in the wheel, though, that I saw today. One's a little lower than it should be in the wheel, one's a little higher. Last week, I reported that today, we're actually going to have $225 per child instead of $200. If you, on their tables, I'm going to ask that you all grab the sheet that's there. This is really not there just for a placemat. Please take it, fold it, take it home, study it. It's your homework. It tells you how much we're going to shop for, what to buy, all of those good things. We'll reiterate that next week at all of the malls. But it's a great guide that's really important. So please take that with you. And you can see what we're going to do. We're going to do $225 instead of $200. And the other number that, Jim, you had a little bit low in your message, that was a great message. We're not inviting 335 kids. We invited 35 kids the first Santa Claus. We're inviting 10 times that amount this year. 360, or more than 10 times. 365 kids are coming this year. So pretty happy with that.
Thank you for the corrections. We'll talk fines later.
That's a good one, right? It's going up. As far as the malls are concerned, we're looking really great at the Galleria. if you haven't signed up and you still would like to, you have more volunteers, we're set at the Galleria, it looks like. We need some more, though, a few more if we can, at the Meadows Mall, and maybe just a few at the Grand Canyon. But the Meadows Mall would be my first request if you have some volunteers. We need to boost their numbers up just a little bit. Want to remind you, we have Metro here today. I want to mention that we have Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officers that are going to be volunteering at the malls, at the Galleria and the Grand Canyon. Thank you very much to keep an eye on everything. We also have some Henderson police officers that'll be out at the Galleria Mall, and we have some UNLV officers that will be at UNLV. Thanks in great part to Arlene, who has worked very hard to try to get this increased security. We'll also have some other folks monitoring the bathrooms and the dressing rooms. When you're shopping, please know that you can't go into the bathrooms if there's a child in there. We're going to keep all the adults out whenever there's a kid in the bathrooms. Same thing, you're not allowed to go in the dressing rooms to help them. These kids can handle those things on their own. So we're just taking a proactive stance and making sure that we keep everybody where they should be and having some extra eyes out there. So we're looking forward to it. The last thing I'll mention is remember to get there no later than 7:30. I'd recommend about no later than 7:15 so you can sign in. We do the orientation at 7:30 and the shopping begins a little bit before 8 o'clock. Thank you so much. Everybody has stepped up with donations. We're looking great there. Looking forward to seeing you all next Thursday. Thanks.
Thank you for all of your hard work on this. It's just going to be another success. Can you take the microphone to Janice Lenke, please?
Thank you. Everyone has seen the last email that went out about the holiday party. For those newer Rotarians who are also participating or not able to participate in Santa Claus, it is a great event to come together where we share our experiences from the day, and you get to hear about, you get to see all the photos and hear the recap, and it's really an amazing event. So this is your final opportunity to RSVP today, tomorrow at the latest. So, and the food really is amazing at Treasure Island. We're doing filet and crab stuffed shrimp or a vegetarian mozzarella Napoleon. So, so come and enjoy. It really is a great event.
Thank you. Would you take the microphone to Rob Tellis, please?
This is when the truth finally comes out.
Rob, it's been a while since I've seen you here.
Yeah, I was here a couple weeks ago, but it's great to see you.
We had a packed agenda. I saw you and couldn't get to you.
It's okay.
I saw something about you in the paper.
So they say, yeah.
Would you like to share with the club what happened?
So as you all know, you guys have been so wonderful and supportive in my race to become the Clark County Public Administrator, and we did it. We won. And so that's my announcement. I'm the next Clark County Public Administrator. I start January 7th. And really, along with that, I look forward to being able to spend more time here and, contributing more. Yeah, but, as you all know, being a small business owner, you can often spend a lot of time at work. And I've devoted so much of my time to the law firm that I neglected my Rotary family and my actual family as well. And so I think this is going to be a wonderful thing in so many ways.
Well, it sounds great. You're going to have some free time, and we'll free up your wallet a little bit, too. And we thank you for your $100 contribution to the club.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, comes to everybody's favorite part, the raffle. This week's pot is at $4,033 plus today's take. The winning ticket today will have a chance to draw for the Joker for half of that. The winning ticket is 681-5890. 5890.
Yeah. What was that?
Oh, darn it. Okay, so close. Next time.
Next time, well, you at least get reimbursed for your tickets.
$10. All right. So, thank you.
President Jim, if I may interject, Marie wanted to add something, if you may allow it.
This is just a note for Rob Tellis. Rob, I just want you to know that Breakfast with Books is still on December the 11th when you have time. Thank you.
Consider yourself voluntold. Okay, for the Lowry's Bucks, it's 681-5984, 5984. Dave Lester. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, this is one of my favorite topics. We have Ryan Wheeler is going to come talk to us about the improvements to the highway system around the Las Vegas Valley. I don't know about you, but I have to commute every day through the Spaghetti Bowl, so I'm super excited that it's just about finished, and I'm very much looking forward to this. And without further ado, Ryan Wheeler.
Well, good afternoon. I appreciate the invitation to have the Nevada Department of Transportation share with you some of the projects that we're doing in the the Las Vegas Valley. Definitely appreciate working with Tina Bishop as she coordinated in scheduling to have myself and my colleague Lynette Russell come here. Lynette Russell is the Assistant Chief Project Management within the Department of Transportation, and I'm a Senior Project Manager. So she is my boss, and so if you don't like the presentation, you could talk to her afterwards if you want. She's right here, just in case. I appreciate everything the Rotary is doing. What a great thing that you have going on here, and appreciate the welcome that we've received so far. And I'm excited to share with you a little bit of what the Department of Transportation is doing. So before I jump into the slides, I just want to give you a quick background of what I'm going to be presenting on. The pamphlet says Project Neon and I-11, and as I was talking to Tina, she said that the Rotary Club was actually interested in hearing more about the upcoming projects that NDOT has. So I'm not going to touch too much on Neon or I-11 at this time, but really talk to you about the upcoming projects that we have planned that are close to construction or in planning stages. And to give you a little more background, the project management group is in charge of major projects. Okay, so we define major projects as projects that are greater than $100 million or are delivered through an alternative delivery analysis or method, which is typically design build or construction manager at risk. Or we are assigned projects that we'll just say are politically sensitive. How about that? Okay. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see, I'll go back one more. Since I am a father of 5, we need to just talk about rules, right? As a dad, you always want to get the rules down, especially I have 4 boys and 1 girl, right? So we always have to talk about the rules. So I'm going to present a lot of information to you, and we're going to cover projects quickly because we have a lot going on. It's an exciting time to live in the city of Las Vegas. We have professional teams coming to town. What a great time to be in Las Vegas, right? So as we move from one project to the other, I'd actually say that if you have questions about that project, let's take them, okay? Because there's probably 15 projects we're going to cover. So rather wait till the very end. I'd rather take questions as we go. So that's the rule. Ask your questions as we go. Can you guys hear me better if I put this up closer to my mouth? Is that better? That's better? Okay. So we just finished I-11, which is the Boulder City. really has a great history dating back to the construction of the Hoover Dam Bridge, and then fixing the roads about 5 miles in each direction from the bridge, and now we bypass Boulder City. So the end result is we get rid of three lights having to go through Boulder City. Many of you probably remember trying to drive to Boulder City or to Arizona on a weekend and just that horrible backup. Well, now you don't have any lights from Ely to Kingman, Nevada. So pretty exciting. That one just opened up in August 9th of this year. Project Neon, okay, go for it.
Real quick on I-11, do you know anything about the completion of the rest of the route down to Phoenix?
Down to Phoenix. I do not. I do not. I know that it's underway. I know it's more of an Arizona DOT thing, and I know they're working on it. But the specifics I don't know as far as times and costs and things like that. I do know that they're going to redo a project right there at Kingman to bypass those lights as you drop down in there. I know that's scheduled. Any other questions on I-11? All right, let's go to Project Neon. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. Project Neon is the largest transportation project that the department has ever pursued. It's $602 million. It's going to be complete in summer of 2019, and we just completed a huge milestone on I-15. If you've driven it recently, I think it's awesome. I drove it on the way here, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. We're still working on the HOV connection to US 95 now, and we will restripe I-15 from the Spaghetti Bowl all the way to Silverado Ranch, so south of the 215, right? And we'll have continuous HOV lanes from Silverado Ranch to the Spaghetti Bowl all the way up 95. So that's going to be impressive once that's done in the middle of next summer. Any questions on Project Neon? Go ahead.
So, given the fact that we know our population is going to, pretty much increase significantly in the next 10, 20 years, as you're planning these new highways and you're doing the work you're doing in like Project Neon, are you factoring in maybe the possibility of mass transit, i.e. a train system or what have you in the future, or that's not part of your equation as you're thinking about this?
Typically, we like to design for 5 years behind when we actually need things. I'm just kidding. To answer your question, yeah, the question is yes, okay? So yes, when we take on a project, we plan for 20 years for future growth to handle that capacity, okay? And then it's funny that you mentioned trains because I have some slides that we're going to talk about high-speed train, okay? Go ahead.
Something I've said a number of times. I have been so impressed with the whole way this Project Neon has gone. It's gone smoothly, quickly. It's just been very impressive how you guys and how Kiewit, the contractors, have handled it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. One thing that I'm most proud of is how we've communicated to the Las Vegas Valley, right? This is that affects everybody. And we've really taken a significant effort and paid a lot of money to try and get the word out via social media, websites, interaction, emails, in any possible way that we can, because almost everybody in the valley drives through that segment of roadway. Sorry, were you going to say something?
In the past, it's been so frustrating to see projects being undertaken that are going to be really inadequate in a matter of years. I'm thinking of around Decatur and 215 and what it cost to put that extra lane on, which it could have been so easily done at the very beginning, and it caused a tremendous amount of cost and hardship. And is that a financial problem that you're constantly faced with, why it doesn't get done right the first time?
We like to do things right the first time when we design things. Sometimes, maybe we miss something, all right? But a lot of it is based on exactly what you said, financial. Sure, if we had a pot of gold before Vegas Valley boomed from 100,000 people to 2 million people, we would have loved to build 12 lanes everywhere. But we can't burden the people with only 100,000 people based on the users, right? So we act based on the money that we're allotted. And we do the best that we can to plan for the future, like I mentioned before, that 20 years. Now, with this, some of these comments, let's try and stay on task. And I have a lot of projects to discuss, so let's try and move forward. Go ahead.
I'll try and make this quick.
Thank you.
So you talk about a lack of money and things that don't get done. One of the things that I have a question of, and I'm sure other people do also, is we see these big flyovers for the HOV lanes. It got to cost a lot of money. And it just, is there some, can the public be provided with some justification for the cost of these things, for what the return is?
There comes a point where we do those cost benefit analysis first to answer your question, and we're limited through, especially through Vegas, with our capacity improvement, right? If you think of, let's say, Flamingo and the loft towers over there, right? There's only so wide we can grow the freeway. So HOV promotes ride sharing, okay? So it promotes more people in one car going from one place to the other. And FHW has approved HOV lanes as a way to improve our highways, and that's the direction we're moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So, some of these questions that maybe aren't related directly to the project, let's hold till the end if that's okay. Garnett Design Build project is located at US 93 and I-15. It's 21 miles north of Las Vegas. It's a current project. It will be done by December 21st, actually. $63 million. We're improving the interchange, and we're widening US 93 for 5 miles to the west of I-15. If you never drive north of Vegas, you don't know this project's here. But again, it's 21 miles north of Vegas on I-15. We're actively constructing a new interchange at Kyle Canyon north of 95. Again, north of Durango Drive on 95 on the way out to the base. $78 million. We're widening 95 between Durango Drive and Kyle Canyon. Moving on. All right. We just completed a project here at Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard. The installation of pedestrian bridges is $34 million. We won a couple of awards. In fact, Lynette, again, my boss, was at a presentation last night where we won yet another award, right? So excited to get that project done. Moving on. Star Interchange on I-15. This is within the I-15 South Corridor. This project is currently being constructed. It will be finished in May of 2019. And Las Vegas Paving is the builder there. I think I have, let's see if this will play. Yep, this is just a 34-second video, but it just shows what the freeway is going to look like in the end condition. It shows the freeway going up and over Star Avenue, and Star stays at grade. The interesting thing here is, if anybody lives in that area, is that Star Avenue will now be connected to Dean Martin on the west side of I-15 to Las Vegas Boulevard on the east side of I-15. And we've been coordinating with Clark County and City of Henderson, because now Star will go from Las Vegas Boulevard further east and tie into St. Rose Parkway and then the Executive Airport Drive by the City of Henderson. Question? Star Avenue is south of town, about 5 miles from Tropicana Avenue. It's about 5 miles south along I-15. Any other question? Yes, but it's by St. Rose. All right, moving forward. Upcoming projects. The exciting stuff. All right, I-11 Northern Nevada and South Valley. So as you know, as we talked about the I-11 that we just constructed, which by the way is the first signed I-11 interstate in the United States, and NDOT built that 22 miles because we signed it all the way to the Henderson Spaghetti Bowl. Currently, there's a Northern Nevada alternative analysis of how we perpetuate I-11 beyond the Vegas Valley up towards Northern Nevada. That study is currently going on right now. In the future, near future, we are releasing an RFP to have a consultant help us study how to route I-11 through Las Vegas. All right, I'm moving on. Tropicana Avenue interchange. This is an exhibit of what the Tropicana Avenue interchange will look like. The reason that NDOT is pursuing this project is for capacity. We need to widen the lanes, widen I-15 underneath the Tropicana Bridge, today's Tropicana Bridge. Right now, with the columns from the flyover and the columns of the bridge, we're unable to do that, so we have to reconfigure the interchange to add capacity to I-15. Yes? Busiest in and out in the United States, so the answer is no. No, this one, well, partly. it will help the new stadium, and part of this project, I'm going to go to the next slide. Well, actually, let me come back to this one real quick. One thing that you'll see here, let's see if I got my clicker, is Dean Martin today connects into Tropicana Avenue. As part of this project, we're going to make Dean Martin continuous underneath Tropicana Avenue. Okay, but yes, it will help with the stadium. Now let me go to the next slide. Part of this project includes building HOV drop ramps at Harmon. Harmon is just a flyover over I-15 today. Now you'll have access via HOV ramps up to Harmon, both in the north and south directions. As we told you before, those HOV lanes as part of Project Neon will be built and then by middle of next year, and those go all the way to Silverado Ranch. Silverado Ranch, just so you know, if you don't know, it is also south of Tropicana Avenue, about 4 miles or so. Where we're at in this project of the building this project is we anticipate to be done with the environmental work by the end of 2019. We'll have to acquire a right-of-way at that time. So hopefully by 2022, we're constructing the project. It's estimated to be about $200 million. And I need to add a caveat. You'll see this on all the slides, that on these projects, they're all contingent on funding and the delivery method. So the delivery method is either design-build, CMAR, or design-bid-build. And that all affects how quickly we construct and get to construction. Any questions on that project? All right. The next project, I-15 Sahara to Flamingo. So I'm going to provide you a little bit of history of just I-15 and NDOT's work on I-15, which leads to some of the frustrations that has been expressed. I understand that. It also leads to how much money we can complete projects at one time. So NDOT widened I-15 north of the Spaghetti Bowl from the downtown Spaghetti Bowl, from the Spaghetti Bowl to Craig Road. Okay, then we did another project, we call it the Design Build South, where we widened I-15 from Tropicana Avenue to SR 160 or Blue Diamond. Okay, now we're doing Project Neon, so we're kind of bouncing around a little bit on I-15. Okay, and I told you earlier that Tropicana is a limiting factor to widen I-15, so we have to do that project. And now we're starting to study to do a capacity improvement from Sahara to Flamingo to add capacity to connect Project Neon basically to this project we built south of Tropicana. Okay, so where we're at with this one is we're just in the initial stages. We just advertised for an RFP to do a feasibility study. And this is generally the route that we go to get a project done, is we do a study, then we do the environmental, we require a right-of-way, and then we can get to construction, and those all take time, and that's through FHWA processes that we have to follow. So that's the outlook for that project. Any questions? Moving on. Question? Yeah, we always have to be aware of the desert tortoises. They're an endangered species out on Garnett. I'm on the project manager of that job. We have to, before we start the project, we go in and clear the area, put tortoise fencing in, and make sure that we keep the tortoises from coming into the project so they don't get ran over and a life taken, a tortoise life taken. Yes, that's something we deal with at NDOT all the time. All right, we're going to move on. This is the interchange at I-15 and the northern 215, so we're out by the Speedway. Okay, and this is an image that shows a project that we're about to start construction, and that this is a proposed image of what it will look like when it's done. You can see that what we are adding are 2 flyover direct connects from the 215 to the I-15. So the northbound I-15 is coming here to westbound 215, and then from 215 eastbound, now you'll be able to connect directly to the northern I-15. Where we're at with this one is we're going to start construction in 2019. We hope to award a contract by summer of 19 and be under construction by fall of next year, about $100 million. We just completed the widening of I-15. We call this the Northern I-15 projects. This was the interchange I just talked as Phase 4. Phase 2 we completed of July of this year, which was widening I-15 from Craig to Speedway. And also Phase 3, which we are starting right now as well with an environmental study, is going to be widening I-15 from the Speedway all the way to Garnett, or the US 93 I-15 interchange. and we'll widen that to 3 lanes in each direction. We are under an RFP to have a consultant help us with that. We have a goal to start construction about 2024. Any questions? All right, a lot of exciting things happening, right? We're doing a lot. All right, Centennial Bowl out in the northwest along US 95. We just finished a $47 million project where we built this flyover from 215 to southbound US 95. We are getting ready to start construction on a $73 million project, which is Phase 3C. This will construct direct connects from 215 west to US 95 south. I'm sorry, I need to say that. From US 95 north to 215 west, and then from 95 south to 215 east. So that's you'll start seeing construction of that. And then in 2020, we hope to have a $142 million project, which is going to be all this blue area here. And that will, right now there's a light right here, right? That will get rid of that light, and 215 will no longer have any lights on it from Henderson all the way to I-15 on the north side, right, by the Speedway. Any questions? At this location? So that's going to take place as part of the Phase 3DE project, the one that's going to be started in 2020. Oh, you said east to north? East to north. That one will be built as part of this 2020 project as well. You can see the ramp right here. Okay? Question? It will typically add costs, and this project here, most projects are not a 24-hour project. Now, Project NEOM was a 24-hour project because we incentivized the contractor to get in off of one of our most congested segments of roadway in Las Vegas Valley, get in, get it done, and get out. So when the conditions are right, we try to incentivize the contractors to do that. That costs money to do that as well. Good question. All right, next project. I-515 downtown, we're just barely getting started on environmental process. So this is the Spaghetti Bowl, downtown Spaghetti Bowl, 515. A lot of you probably experienced this as well. Through City Center, there's a lot of bad weaving between Las Vegas Boulevard, 4th Street, Casino Center Drive, so we're going to fix that. And we're just starting the study of that. We're starting next year. The environmental is going to start right away, will be another year and a half, and then depending on the delivery method, will be 2 to 3 years of construction. It says 2 to 5, but I meant 2 to 3. Go ahead.
Curious, on your environmental assessments, when you're in areas that are basically solid concrete and asphalt, is there any way to shorten the periods of the NEPA studies as opposed to areas that are out in the desert where there actually is some habitat left?
Yes, there is. Within the environmental analysis, you can achieve a categorical exclusion, which means you don't have to jump into an environmental impact statement. And so, yes, those studies can be shorter when we're in the urban environment. And this is one where we're trying to accomplish that. Other questions? A portion of it, but we enjoy that up and down so much, we decided we'd leave a little bit. There's two structures there that are the viaduct structures. This will take care of one, so it will eliminate that. But there's another one further south that we would have to go through an EIS, which is a longer environmental process because of the adjacent housing in the area, and that's going to take a little bit longer to get through that study, but that is on our radar. So Lynette termed this the Fiesta Bowl. This is the Henderson Spaghetti Bowl, but the Fiesta Casino's right by it, so we're like, let's call it the Fiesta Bowl. We'll see if NDOT bites on that name. I wanted to go over a couple things we're doing at this location. First of all, we're doing a restripe project. We're spending almost $1 million, and maybe some of you have already experienced this, but we're going to change the southbound to westbound movement, southbound 515 to westbound 215. We're going to add a second lane on the north to north ramp, the west to north ramp, and then we're also changing some configuration on Lake Mead to the 215 on, going westbound. And I have a video I want to show you just real quick So before I start this video and hit start, what you're looking at right now is southbound 515. Okay, so we're traveling southbound 515. We've just passed Sunset, and we're coming up on Auto Show. So we're coming up on Auto Show going southbound. That's Auto Show right there. All right, the key to take away here is if you're going to travel 515 southbound and now access 215 westbound, your ramp location will change. It's moving up to the Lake Mead East exit. So we're combining that. So once this restripe is done, if you want to go 515 southbound and go to 215 westbound, take that exit. So watch the signs. Otherwise, after we do this, you're going to drive to Horizon and be like, where did it go? Right? So, I'm sorry, what? Let me show this video and then I'll address all that. Is that okay? All right. So here we go. Here's the video. So we're going underneath Auto Show. Now I want to go 215 westbound, so I take the Lake Mead exit. It'll be a dual exit now. So now you'll have Lake Mead East and 215 westbound. Now you're off the freeway, so we're trying to eliminate those high-speed accidents, right? So now the left lane will come back towards 515, but it'll be separated by a concrete barrier, and you'll now take the 215 westbound ramp. On that bridge, we're going to open it up to 2 lanes, and you'll have 2 lanes straight on a 215 without a trap lane. Okay, because right now, Gibson, you come on, there's a trap lane. You'll have 2 lanes straight on with the option to take Gibson exit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lynette and I are kind of the brainchilds of that, so hopefully it turns out well. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, right? You might call me or email me after it's all done. So let me go back to your question. When's it going to be done? It's actively being worked on right now. It should be done by middle of January. The east to north should be done by middle of February, if not sooner. Go ahead. The restripe. Yes, the restripe. We did. So what we're doing is we're trading speed movements based on safety. So I heard that we have some NHP and Metro people here. I think I have about 5 minutes left, right? Okay. We're trading movements because of safety. So now that has 1 lane on instead of 2 lanes. Lake Mead is a slower speed arterial compared to the 515. What we're trying to do is make decisions based on safety. If you've tried to take the 515 to 215 westbound today, you have a lot of congestion, people going in the fast lane, trying to dive over into the slow lane to take that ramp, and it's just creating a lot of hazards, and I'm sure our Metro and NHP could attest to that. So we're trying to make that more efficient movement, but what we have to give up is we have to take that to 1 lane, but that's a slower arterial with a chance of lesser fatalities. That's the decision logic behind that. All right. Whoops, I skipped. Man, I haven't even got to the exciting stuff yet. All right. But this is exciting, right? All right. We are also starting a study of that whole Fiesta Bowl to make some more significant improvements to the tune of $120 to $140 million. So we're trying to look at the bigger picture there. Real quick, I'm not going to be able to dive through all the details on this, but the I-15 South Corridor is a $1.3 billion project. We've completed about $500 million of it. We just went out for an RFP to reevaluate the environmental assessment. Essentially, the long term is the corridor goes from Tropicana to Sloan Road, and eventually we'll widen I-15 to 5 lanes in each direction along that corridor. We've been working on it since 2008. Obviously, we can only go as fast as we have money, so there's phase projects. Star Interchange is one of those projects along that corridor. But this leads us to something that is quite exciting that NDOT is starting to experience. And we have additional pressures on the corridor. We have the Raider Stadium. I'm going to go really quick here because I'm running out of time. We have development pressures. We just found out that Brightline, a high-speed rail company and operator, had just purchased Express West, which Express West has the rights to build a rail line from Victorville, California, to Las Vegas. They're coming in pretty strong. They just got a partnership with Virgin Trains, and they have money, and they have trains already operating in Florida. And so the vibe that we're getting so far is that it's going to happen. However, it's still a developer. It's just a $3 billion developer. Okay? So it may not happen too. We don't know yet. We won't know until a contract starts. What's a little bit different here? Can you hold your questions for just a minute, please? Thank you. $41.4 billion. Brightline is owned by Fortress, a private investment equity company. They have $41.4 billion under asset management. So what's $3 billion, right? Current operations in Florida, you could take a train from Miami to West Palm Beach. They're also actively constructing rail to Orlando. And then they are working through environmental process to go Orlando to Tampa. I'm not going to be able to get through all these slides. Here is their operation in Florida. They're currently operating here. They're trying to get to Orlando, like I said, and then over to Tampa. They just bought Express West. They have a desire to build Las Vegas to Victorville. I'm going to skip through some of this stuff because I don't have a lot of time. One thing that they focus on are trips that are too short to fly and too long to drive. And those are areas that they focus on. They're focusing on a couple places like that all across the United States.
Is this online?
No, this presentation is not online. Real quick about our alignment here is 90% of trips are made by car and 10% by plane, and there's 50 million annual trips on vehicle per year. How am I doing? Pretty close? Got a cut? Okay. What I will just say is we don't know for sure whether it's going to happen or not, this Brightline train. Okay, the Victorville stop, you're like, why stop in Victorville? Well, they have plans to connect to Palmdale, and in California, I'm just going to share one more slide. In California, they're building high-speed rail from San Francisco to Los Angeles with potential to go to San Diego and Sacramento. Victorville's right here. They want to connect to Palmdale, so you'll have that opportunity to connect and potentially go north and south from that point. I've taken my time. I apologize. And so I don't know that we have time for questions. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. And I appreciate that you took the questions as you went. So I think we had plenty of questions. At this time, I'd like to present you with the Share What You Can Award. And we present this to all of our speakers, and we will provide a meal to a needy veteran in your name. And so thank you very much for coming. This, like I said, it's one of my favorite presentations. I always like to hear what NDOT's up to. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, just a quick reminder, the rollover board and the new board, we have a brief meeting in the bar after. And with that, as we leave here today, let's go forth to the world in peace. Be of good courage, hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak, help the afflicted. Honor all persons. Love and serve each other, rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Be people of action. Be the inspiration. Meeting adjourned.